All right, so we've got a pretty interesting story making the rounds today, and one that could have some serious implications for the crypto world.
Yeah, this one's definitely got people talking.
We're talking about DeepSeek, a
Yeah.
Chinese AI company that just dropped their R1 model.
And they're already making waves.
Big time. We've got a whole stack of articles here, and they all seem to agree on one thing. DeepSeek's cost-effective AI could be a game changer.
Especially for the crypto market.
Exactly. So let's dive in and see what all the fuss is about.
All right.
So first things first, what is it about DeepSeek that has everyone so riled up?
Well, the big thing here is how they've managed to build an AI model that rivals giants like OpenAI.
Right, those are the big names.
Exactly. But here's the kicker. They did it at a fraction of the cost.
Yeah, I saw that in one of the articles. It's like millions versus billions of dollars.
It's pretty wild, right? It's like they found a way to rewrite the rules of the game.
Totally. And they did it all while facing sanctions that limit their access to those top-tier chips everyone's after.
That's the real David versus Goliath moment here.
Definitely underdogs.
Absolutely. And to top it off, they've even caught the attention of OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he actually called their work invigorating.
Huh. So even the competition is impressed.
It seems that way. And you know, it's not just the tech that's interesting. DeepSeek's founder, Liang Wenfeng, has a very distinct philosophy.
Oh, yeah, I read about that. He's all about making AI accessible to everyone, right?
Exactly. He's quoted as saying AI should be affordable and accessible to everyone.
Which is a pretty stark contrast to what we're seeing with a lot of Western AI companies.
Yeah, the paywalls, the commercialization, it's a whole different approach.
So how did DeepSeek pull this off? I mean, they're facing sanctions. They're using less powerful chips.
Right. They're using the H800 chips instead of the banned H100s.
And the H100 is the gold standard, right?
Pretty much. It's the top-of-the-line processing unit for AI, but it's currently restricted for export to China.
So DeepSeek is basically running a marathon with ankle weights on.
That's a great analogy. And they're still winning.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And it makes their R1 model even more intriguing.
Absolutely. This model they've developed, it reportedly matches the performance of models built with the H100.
But for a fraction of the cost.
A tiny fraction. They developed it for a mere $5.6 million.
$5.6 million. That's it?
That's what they're claiming. And when you compare that to the estimated costs for similar models, $100 million to $1 billion.
It's mind-boggling.
It really is. And, you know, it's got some people wondering if maybe some companies have been overspending.
Especially with Goldman Sachs warning about the potential for excessive spending in the AI race.
Right. If DeepSeek's claims hold up, it could mean a lot of companies have been throwing money around unnecessarily.
It's definitely raising some eyebrows. Even Elon Musk is skeptical.
Yeah, I saw that he suggested DeepSeek might have access to more advanced chips than they're letting on.
Like maybe they found a way around those sanctions?
That's what he's implying. It adds a whole other layer of intrigue to this story.
It's like a tech thriller unfolding in real time.
Kind of. And then you have people like Zastox who are just flat out skeptical.
Oh, yeah. He had that great analogy.
Right. He compared the low development cost to finding beachfront property in California for a bargain price.
Too good to be true.
Exactly. And he's not alone in that sentiment. There's a lot of trust issues at play here.
Especially when a company comes out swinging with such a disruptive claim.
Absolutely. People are going to question their methods.
So we've got groundbreaking AI development, cost-effective methods, and a healthy dose of skepticism.
It's a recipe for a fascinating story.
It really is. And it begs the question, where does the crypto market fit into all of this?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Because a lot of crypto projects, especially in the AI and decentralized finance space, they rely heavily on complex computations.
And those computations, they require powerful and expensive GPU infrastructure.
And DeepSeek's approach could disrupt that entire equation.
That's the potential here.
So if DeepSeek can really deliver similar AI performance at a fraction of the cost, what does that mean for companies that are currently investing heavily in GPUs?
That's what everyone's trying to figure out.
And the initial market reaction was pretty telling.
It was. We saw a dip in the share prices of GPU-dependent crypto mining companies.
Like Riot Platforms and Cypher Mining.
Exactly. It seems investors are starting to factor in this potential disruption.
And it wasn't just the mining companies. There was a sell-off of AI-focused crypto tokens, too.
Like Render the Graph Artificial Superintelligence Alliance.
So the news definitely spooked some investors.
Yeah, I mean, change, especially in the fast-paced world of crypto, can be unsettling.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that the AI crypto sector is still a relatively small part of the overall market.
That's true. And there are already some early signs of recovery.
Okay, so maybe not time to hit the panic button just yet.
Definitely not. But it is a time to take a deep breath and assess the situation.
Which is exactly what we're going to do in the next part of our deep dive.
I think it's more a time for cautious optimism than outright panic. Disruption often breeds innovation.
Okay.
And the crypto space is incredibly adaptable. We wouldn't be surprised to see some pretty clever solutions emerge from all this.
That's reassuring to hear. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. You mentioned skepticism around DeepSeek's claims. What are the specific concerns people are raising?
Well, the biggest one is definitely around their incredibly low development cost. Can they really produce cutting-edge AI for a fraction of what everyone else is spending?
It does seem almost too good to be true.
Right. Remember Zastox's analogy?
About the beachfront property?
Exactly. It's hard to imagine finding a steal like that, and some people feel the same way about DeepSeek's claims.
So is there a chance they're being intentionally misleading? Maybe trying to generate hype and attract investment?
It's a possibility, and it's worth considering that China's tech sector does have a history of, bold claims.
Right.
But dismissing DeepSeek entirely based on skepticism alone, that might be a mistake too.
So we need to wait and see if they can back up their claims with consistent performance.
And transparency.
Transparency, for sure. But even if their technology is legitimate, there are still concerns, right? Especially regarding their reliance on those less powerful H800 chips.
Absolutely. Elon Musk, for example, has been pretty vocal about his doubts.
Yeah, I saw those tweets.
He believes DeepSeek might have found a way to access the banned H100 chips.
So basically, they're not being entirely transparent about their methods.
That's his take. And if he's right, it kind of undermines their whole underdog narrative.
Right, the whole idea that they outperform the giants with limited resources.
Exactly. Transparency is crucial, especially for a company trying to disrupt an industry built on trust and established practices.
So if DeepSeek wants to gain widespread adoption, they'll need to address these concerns.
Head on.
And transparency isn't their only hurdle. Remember that cyber attack they faced on their debut day?
Oh, yeah.
It might have just been growing pains. But it does raise concerns about their infrastructure.
Security and scalability.
Exactly. If they want to be a major player, they need to be able to handle the demands of a global market.
No doubt. They need to safeguard their systems and make sure they can scale to accommodate a growing user base.
So it sounds like DeepSeek's success hinges on several factors: proving their claims, being transparent, and building a robust and secure infrastructure.
It's a tall order.
It is. And it's something investors should definitely consider. The potential rewards are high, but so are the risks.
Absolutely.
Now let's bring this back to the crypto world. Even if DeepSeek checks all those boxes, there's still the question of how this impacts the broader market.
Right. Especially those projects that are heavily reliant on GPUs.
We saw that initial panic with mining companies and AI-focused tokens taking a hit. What's your take on that reaction?
Well, I think it's important to separate the initial shock from the long-term implications.
Okay.
DeepSeek's approach could be a game changer, yes. But the crypto space is known for its adaptability and innovation.
So you see this as more of a challenge than a death knell.
Exactly. Think of it as a catalyst for evolution. Projects that can adapt and leverage this new paradigm of affordable AI, they'll likely thrive.
It could even lead to a wave of new, more efficient projects.
And potentially even more decentralized projects.
So instead of viewing this as a threat, it's more of a push for the crypto community to step up their game.
Precisely. And that's the exciting part. Disruption often leads to unexpected breakthroughs and entirely new ways of thinking.
So this situation could unlock opportunities we haven't even imagined yet.
I think that's a great way to put it. DeepSeek's entry has certainly shaken things up, but with that shakeup comes the potential for incredible innovation and growth, especially for those who are willing to embrace the change and explore the new possibilities it presents.
Yeah, it's like they've handed everyone these incredible tools, and now it's up to the builders to see what they can create with them.
I like that analogy.
It's exciting, but kind of daunting at the same time.
Definitely a pivotal moment. And like any significant shift, there will be winners and losers.
Right. Some projects will adapt, others will get left behind.
It's a natural selection process in a way, pushing the whole ecosystem towards greater efficiency and innovation.
And this is where DeepSeek's commitment to open sourcing their technology comes in.
Absolutely. That aligns perfectly with the whole crypto ethos,
Decentralization, open access, community-driven development.
Exactly.
But let's back up for a second and explain what open sourcing actually means, for those who might not be familiar.
Yeah, good point. It basically means making the code behind the technology freely available for anyone to use, modify, distribute.
So in the context of DeepSeek, it means developers can build upon their AI models, without having to jump through hoops.
Exactly. No hefty licensing fees, no restrictive terms of service. It's about removing those barriers to entry.
So it's like releasing the blueprints for a revolutionary engine and saying, go build your own cars.
I like that. That's a great way to put it.
It could lead to an explosion of creativity and experimentation.
And that's what has so many people excited. It levels the playing field.
Developers, regardless of their resources, can contribute to the advancement of AI.
Exactly. And that's huge, especially for smaller projects that might not have been able to compete before.
It's all about democratizing access.
And we're already seeing it in action frameworks, like I-16s have started integrating DeepSeek's technology.
Yeah, they were mentioned in a couple of the articles.
They're a great example of how this open source approach can benefit the entire ecosystem.
Lowering financial barriers, fostering collaboration.
It's win-win.
So DeepSeek's arrival isn't just about shaking things up, it's about empowering a new generation of developers.
And paving the way for a more inclusive and innovative future for crypto.
It's a pretty inspiring vision.
It is. And while there are definitely concerns about their claims and their long-term viability, their approach is compelling.
It's a future worth exploring.
Absolutely. Even if it means navigating some uncharted territory.
Well said. It seems like DeepSeek has really thrown a wrench into the works, and now everyone's trying to figure out what comes next.
It's a scramble, but it's also exciting. There's a sense that something big is happening.
A feeling that something truly transformative could be on the horizon.
I agree. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I think it's important for everyone listening to remember this. Stay informed, stay curious, and don't be afraid to explore the new possibilities that emerge from these disruptions.
The crypto world is constantly evolving.
And those who embrace that evolution will be the ones who reap the rewards.
Great advice. And here's a final thought for you to ponder. Could DeepSeek's disruption ultimately lead to a more vibrant, innovative, and equitable crypto ecosystem? One where the power of AI is accessible to all?
It's a question worth considering.
Absolutely. It's something to think about as we watch this all unfold.